5 weeks ago, I gave birth to my fourth child and my first daughter, Gracie. She's the most precious baby girl that has ever been born, and yes, I am biased. When she was born, I just remember my husband saying, "Now this is our last baby, so cherish every moment." And I was staring at her little pug nose, her little pointy chin, her fingers, her toes, and even the little lines in the palms of her hands. 5 days later, our pediatrician called to tell me the devastating news that Gracie tested positive for cystic fibrosis, the life-threatening disease that her older brother, Gunnar, suffers from. In that moment, I remember thinking about that little middle school trick that my friends would do, where they would ask to see the palm of your hands, and they would predict how long you would live, what the story of your life would be, what kind of car you would drive, all through the palm of your hands. And I remember thinking, what's Gracie's palm saying? How long will her life be? What do those lines predict? What stories do they hold? Now, I don't know the answers to these questions because we know that's just a trick. But I don't know the answers to the questions in my own palm. How long I will live, the life I will have, what will my story be? We don't know the stories of our children and our grandchildren. But we do know we have now. We have now this precious time with our families that we cherish because we know that each and every day is a gift. Gunnar and Gracie, they've changed my life forever. I'm a type A personality. I like to get things done, and I will burn the midnight oil if I need to. But having them changed me. I know that their life's going to be hard. I don't know what their life will entail, but I know I want to be there for every single moment. And I remember 6 years ago when Gunnar was born thinking, how can I walk away from him? How can I go to work? How can I get on that plane and be away from my son every day? There's only one thing that gets me to leave Gunnar and Gracie, to potentially miss that question that precocious Gunnar will ask, or the little coo from Gracie. And it's this. And this is my message. It's the only reason I leave my children. It's that I believe that we will end abortion in our lifetime. But I need your help to do it. Today, 3,200 precious little children will be destroyed. Their mothers will be lied to. And families will never be the same. Some of these children will be like my Gunnar and Gracie. They'll be diagnosed with a fatal genetic disease. Others will be simply erased because they were inconvenient or their mothers were scared. I cannot stand by and let that happen. You cannot stand by and let that happen. For such a time as this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of problems. We have a lot of problems in our nation, and there's a lot of things that we have to do when we take back the presidency in 2016. But the number one thing, the greatest thing that we must do is to work towards that day when there is no legal abortion. Today, I'm standing in front of you, the activists who are making this happen. And my message is simple. We can end abortion. We can end the destruction of life. We can protect women. And we can cherish all human beings. And the good news is we're winning. We're winning. And it's already happening. Anyone who studied the history of social reform will know that you need to do one thing before you seek your change. And that's change your culture. Change your culture. Culture drives laws. How do we change our culture? Who do we go to? Young people. Young people are the drivers of culture. And guess what? That is my specialty. Every day we're on the front lines in high schools and college campuses and medical schools, the places where many of you think is a lost cause, where Planned Parenthood and the abortion industry target. Every day, I see the future. I see a culture of people, a culture of young people who know That abortion is not simply the removal of tissue. That no, she doesn't have to choose between the life of her child and fulfilling her dreams. Who know that human life always trumps the ideology of choice. And while I would love to stick you in my pocket and to take you to every single campus so you can witness these conversations and these victories, you can see them all around you. You don't have to be with me on campus. You can see them all around you. Today we live in a land that's had abortion legal for over 40 years. Yet, we are witnessing a historic low of abortion facilities. There's fewer abortion facilities now than ever. There's 3 pregnancy centers, 3 pro-life pregnancy centers to every 1 abortion facility. Abortion restricting legislation is sweeping our country. Not a day goes by that I don't get an email from Cecile Richards desperate to tell me how much of a misogynist I am and how crazy I am to want to end abortion. And national polls show us the truth, that the majority of Americans, even young people, are morally opposed to abortion and want abortion to be made illegal. This is what winning looks like. We are winning. So, what can we do to usher in this end of injustice? First, we have to elect a pro-life president. And that starts with making sure that every single candidate is not afraid to say, yes, I'm against abortion. Making sure every candidate pledges to sign the unborn pain capable legislation to ban abortion at 20 weeks. And we have to make sure every candidate says they will do everything in their power to defund Planned Parenthood, the nation's largest abortion provider of our taxpayer dollars. Second, we have to go home. We have to go home, go to our state capitals, pass legislation in our state capitals, defund Planned Parenthood of our state taxpayer dollars. We have to expose the abortion facility down the street from our church and from our home. And we have to be there for women in crisis. And third, and this is the hardest of all, we have to believe in our hearts that we can end abortion in our lifetime. You know, I speak all over the country. And usually when I speak, I'm bossy, I'm type A. I give you to-do action items. And everyone says, check, I can do that, check, I can do that. But the hard one is, can you believe in your heart that we can end abortion? Because many of us have been pro-life our whole lives, but we've fallen asleep to the wheel. Even pro-life speeches like mine, or cute little bumper stickers or slogans, they don't really affect us anymore. For those of us who are like that in this room today, I ask you, I beg you, I implore you to open your hearts and open your minds. I believe in a great almighty God. I believe in a God who spoke the world into existence. I believe in a God that says, I can do all things through he who strengthens me. Do you? Do you do that? Do you really believe? You know, I know those tiny little lines in Gracie's palm. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what they'll predict her life will be. But I know I've been called to fight. I know I've been called to change our culture. I know I've been called to make sure children like Gunnar and Gracie are welcomed in life and are always protected by law. I know I've been called to stand up for those 3,200 babies today who have perfectly little formed palms, fingers and toes and noses just like Gracie, who will never see life outside of their mother's womb. My question is, will you join me? Thank you.